Welcome back to the FanSpeak Network and another episode of the NFL Betting Card, our live show. I'm Meg, and I'm, of course, joined by Spread Astaire and Tyler Hicks. And we go through our NFL Betting Card. We go through our favorite picks for Week 5. And we're starting Week 5 hot because we've got my Washington Commanders playing tonight. So you're going to get extra homer takes from me. I'm fired up. I'm sure Spread will get me more fired up if he says anything bad about Sam Howell. But I'm ready to go. But let me go bring in the guys before we get to our bets. Spread, how are you doing? Are you excited for Week 5? Actually, before I do that, I need to tout these guys. First of all, they went 3-1 on spreads last week. Was a 2-1 on totals. Again, you can find all their entire betting card. We're just going through our favorite bets here, but you can find their entire betting card up on the NFL Treasure Map on FanSpeak. Click the Sports Betting tab. You can find our entire betting card at the NFL Betting Card on fanspeak.com, all 100% free. So you guys crushed it last week. I know you're going to crush it this week. Spread, how are you doing?
I'm fired up. I hate Coinbase, but we'll hear about it a different time. So I'm going to take all that negative energy and just put it into finding these winners. I'm going over these lines that we gave out. Some of them moved. Some of them are exactly the same. But that's the reason why we're tweeting that out the second we get it. Specifically, the Titans. That money line's gone from -103 to -143. So I can't wait to talk about that game with you and find out why that's moved so much.
Well, again, you guys did awesome last week. So congrats. And I just know you guys are going to keep it rolling. I feel it coming. I feel like you guys are just getting locked in now. Tyler, how are you feeling about your awesome week last week? And how are you feeling about Week 5?
I'm feeling a little good, Meg. Not the best because I'm the holder of that 1-3-1 with the Pittsburgh Steelers ticket.
I forgot the homer bet, but I agreed with it.
They look so bad. I mean, maybe Houston's legit, and maybe these Mike Tomlin trends are just not a thing anymore. That'll be something we'll have to talk with our guys.
We got one today.
Yep. So.
Okay.
But we're gonna crush it again this week. Ready to find some winners.
Yeah, I know we're going to crush it again this week. I don't doubt it for 1 second. So if you haven't joined this show before, what we do is we go over these guys' favorite spreads, their favorite totals. Then we hit the prop market and we go over some favorite props. Props have been doing. We had a really good prop week 2 weeks ago. Last week wasn't so good, but we had a really good touchdown week last time. We've been doing really good in the anytime touchdown market as well. Crushed it there last week. I believe we were 5-2 or something along those lines. So anyways, we'll go props. Then our favorite anytime touchdowns. Then we'll jump over to Thursday night football, talk about how Washington is just going to dominate tonight. And I can't wait to see it on primetime. And we'll talk through, do some favorite first touchdowns for tonight and build a same game parlay for tonight. So that is how this goes. If you're coming in, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the FanSpeak Network so you know when this show goes live. And of course, be sure to check out fanspeak.com for all the free content and all the free bets on the betting card and their treasure map. So guys, let's get into it. Well, first of all, before we get into it, first of all, Clyde says hello. He's in chat. But before we get into it, any look back at Week 4 spread that on such a good week? Do you have any thoughts on anything from Week 4?
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
we got to give them their props.
So yeah, you should take a victory lap because Tyler and I were wrong on that one because I ruled with Tyler on that one, and I thought we were going to be right, Tyler. But the Bills proved us wrong. So
yeah, I think Miami's still a little bits away, and for all my love of defensive coordinators, at the end of the day, sometimes talent matters. And I just feel like Buffalo has so much more talented players on the defensive side of the ball there. They lost Tre'Davious White. It'll be interesting to see because that's almost like a name at this point. If you actually look, he hadn't been exceptional. I remember a couple of years ago where I was putting him in the top corner in the league, top 5 corners in the league. I don't think he had been there. So that's something to look at. Of course, that win. We had the Sunday Night Fun with Kansas City Chiefs, and then just an absolutely shellacking of a team that I was high on in best ball, Meg.
The Giants.
And I think a note that we need to take is just unfollow every single NFL beat writer while we're drafting.
Exactly.
What are the 2 things that screwed us up, Meg? Calvin Ridley highlights and Darren Waller highlights. Right?
Yeah.
As soon as those Ridley highlights came out, he went from like 45 to 25. And towards the end, second round pick.
Yeah,
all off camp highlights. Waller went from round 8 to round 4. Maybe we need to not enjoy those highlights so much. And I'm thinking of that for as I'm drafting NBA.
As you're drafting NBA, and
we'll
get back to those shows
get
next week.
Now by right.
Yeah.
So I guess those are my main takeaways.
Do the social media for the NBA teams have like solid social media departments that are teasing you and getting you hooked on some NBA players yet?
Yeah, well, the one that I already liked, remember when we did the show earlier, I told you I like Sasha Vesnikov, and the De'Aaron Fox came out and said he hit like 147 of 150 of his practice threes, the other day, and I'm like, drafted him a little more, so I'm making sure to be careful. But so let me ask you first, Matt, because I've already talked to Tyler about it. We were on the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Tyler told me to stay strong there because I was starting to get worried.
Were you?
Right before kick.
Really?
Giants as a home dog. I thought, I think I'm too much into this home dog and primetime deal.
Yeah.
I think when we're handicapping ourselves, I think I play into that too much.
Okay.
Tyler kept me firm. Not surprised the Seahawks won, but you have to be surprised in the manner in which the Giants have lost that game. And other than, that comeback against Arizona, this team has looked absolutely terrible. What do you make of the Giants, Mike? They can't be this bad, can they?
Well, if you remember, I don't know if it was one of our preseason shows that we did or an early season show, but I said, I don't think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I just said, I think the NFL is just lacking a lot of elite quarterbacks, a lot of like high-end quarterback play. And so anybody who's just functional gets a great contract. And again, I don't know what's guaranteed and when they can move on from, and I don't know those contract details, but I was not on the Daniel Jones is the real deal. Never was. Just thought it was a product. And then last year, I thought they absolutely, they were winning. I don't know how many off the top of my head, how many games they won by one score, 3 points or less. They definitely won several games by one score. A lot of things broke their way, had an incredibly easy, soft schedule. And, you lose Saquon Barkley, you lose your top offensive lineman, and things are just going to look ugly. And I don't think Daniel Jones, besides his legs, is going to get you there. He's not a top echelon quarterback. So I'm not totally surprised. Once
Saquon comes back.
Yeah.
I think this happened last year too. Every game that Barkley missed, he looked terrible.
Yeah, and that's
it's just so crazy that they wouldn't pay him. It's going to be obvious.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to be obvious.
There was one play in that game Monday night where it was over the moment the play happened. And it was when the Giants tried that tush-push play with Daniel Jones.
Yeah. And then two guys got injured. Yeah.
The center got injured. And it was already the backup, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So when they had to take him off the field, it rearranged their whole offensive line. It put somebody new under center. The guy coming off the bench had to go in at guard or something. So the guy playing center had never played center before. Our old friend Kurt would be able to tell us about this with him being an old lineman.
Yeah.
Once you start rearranging guys on there, that's a big no-no. And you see what happened in that game. What, he get sacked 11 times after that?
Oh, yeah. It was brutal.
Once that offensive line just went into shambles, there was no chance for that team.
Right. He's not a talent elevator. He's not a great quarterback. He can be with guys like Barkley and be functional, but I was never like in best ball. I still drafted some Daniel Jones, not a lot, just because again the rushing floor and that kind of stuff. But honestly, I liked guys later more like guys a little earlier like Tua, guys a little later like Goff. So it's tough sledding for the Giants for sure. Any thoughts from you to wrap up week 4 before we dive more into week 5, Tyler?
No, definitely the Bills definitely pushed themselves out in front.
Yeah,
I mean, the more I look at it, San Fran might be the one in the NFC, and they're going to play one of the other top 3 teams in the NFC this week, so we can see how they fare.
Sunday Night Football, yeah.
That's going to be a big test for me.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to watch on Sunday night for sure. All right, well then it's time to get into week 5 and start with the spreads. So spread, I'll go to you first. What is your favorite spread for week 5?
All right, you know what we like to do. We like to sell high on these teams. The team I'm selling high on this week is the Los Angeles Rams. What a great story, right?
Yeah.
We all counted them out. Thought this team was going to be terrible. They lose Cooper Kupp. It seems all is lost. They elevate a rookie receiver to fantastic status, and they're getting some wins. But what I'm saying is not so fast. Now you're going against a real team here in the Philadelphia Eagles. And boy, man, I watched Stafford barely make it up and down the field, doing his best Byron Leftwich impersonation of waiting for his linemen to start carrying him up and down. He's not 100% against that Colts line. I might sit him this week, Meg. They're going to get him killed against the Eagles. Let him take a week off. This season's 17 weeks long. You're going to lose Stafford this week if you run him out there behind that line. And I'm really worried that that's going to happen for him. I'm on the Eagles -4.5. I think this is a great spot to target this overvalued Rams team going against the Eagles team that, even though they're 4-0, there's some criticisms around that team because they're not beating the spread by 20 points per game like they did last year. This is still a solid football team. And I think that the difference in defensive talent is really going to show out here. Remember, Tyler, I tried to talk to you into the Rams, and you were saying, hey, besides Aaron Donald, there's not much there. I think that's going to be evident this week. Philly gets a nice get-right game in Los Angeles and easily covers the 4.5-point spread.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Okay, so spread has the Eagles spread. Again, this is already on the betting card on fanspeak.com. Tyler, I'll go to you. What's your favorite spread for week 5?
We're going to stay out towards the West Coast for my pick, Meg. It's going to be an uncomfortable one. No one's really going to like this one, I don't think. I already tried to talk our guy spread into it. He wouldn't let me pull the trigger on the treasure map with this play.
Okay, I'm interested.
You got to get right eventually. And everyone's betting against them now. Give me the Bengals -3 in Arizona versus the Cardinals.
Okay.
I thought we were saving that for the great debate, Tyler.
We're at the official play spread. Joe Burrow says he's feeling the best he's felt all year after a training camp and after a game. He's not really sore. I know T. Higgins is banged up. You still got Jamar Chase out there who could route up any defense. Tyler Boyd will be out there. He could throw the ball to anybody. That Trenton Irwin can come off the bench. He could hit him for touchdowns. Hudson, the tight end, can come in. Mixon's still there to run the ball. The defense is going to get pressure on Dobbs also. And this is pretty much a must-win game. If you keep losing these games, you're falling out of the playoff picture in a AFC where no one's really separated.
Right.
So having a mediocre record in the end could screw you out of a playoff spot just due to percentages and ties and everything else. So looking like a must-win against a team that I think people are starting to overrate because of a couple games. I know they beat Dallas in a weird week. Then they played San Fran kind of close if you just look at the box score. But I just don't see it here. I think they beat them by at least a field goal. Give me the Bengals -3.
Okay, Bengals -3. Well, spread, you said this was going to be a great debate.
Yeah, we're diving in right now.
Why don't you dive in right now?
And it really comes down to how high do you want to rate your priors? How high are you going to rate your priors? So let's just say I brought you in this season and you weren't in the NFL. Let's say you're from Europe. You only watch Premier League. And you said, I want to start betting some NFL, right? And you just started this year. And you watch what these two teams have put on tape. There's no way that this Bengals team is what? Home court event, 5.5 points better than the Arizona Cardinals? I just don't see it. T. Higgins is going to be out. And Burrow can say that he's feeling great. But until I see it on the field, I'm not necessarily going to believe it. We talked earlier about Stafford maybe sitting out. I mean, Burrow, he probably should have been sitting out these games as well. And I know that with the pressure of that new contract, he wants to get out there. I just don't see it. Now, did I pull the trigger against Tyler? No, I didn't have the stones to bet the Cardinals because a lot of things that Tyler's saying is correct. This should be an excellent get-right spot. But my point is, if you're just looking at the data that they put out, we're only using this season's numbers. We're 4 games in. We have a little better idea of what these new numbers mean. And the tape they put out this year, the Cardinals are just much better. So this one's tough. I just don't want to take the Bengals.
Now, just to counter that a little bit, just using this year's numbers, like I get it, it's going to push you to Arizona. Mm-hmm. Watch the Cincinnati team for 3 years. They've done this 3 years in a row where they start slow and start to rip off wins right about that week 5, week 6 mark. I'm going to watch everybody jump off the boat now, and I'm going to stay on the boat, and I think the boat's going to just cruise, and they're just going to start to rip off wins. They'll start to catch up to Baltimore in the divisional standings, and they'll be right back to the Bengals we always thought they were.
I think I'll jump on after they have a week 7 bye, I believe. And again, I know this from best ball. So they have to get through 2 more weeks. So I get why they're not sitting Burrow. I remember there was like a quote earlier from Chase being like, yeah, Joey should sit out for a couple games. Well, he didn't.
He said in week 5.
Yeah. So and then now here they are. And, you know, it just hasn't looked great. So Clyde asked me to break the tie. I am going to side with spread this time. And it is not that I like spread. I'm not going to go against Tyler. I'm not going to bet the Cardinals, but I can't pull the trigger on the Bengals until I see that Joey B's healthy. But I agree with Tyler that at some point the tide's going to turn. I just don't feel comfortable it's this week yet. And so like for me, it'll be after week 8, we'll see where, you know, the spread for the Bengals are there. But after the bye, I'd feel a lot more comfortable betting whatever Bengals spread and them going on a tear then. But I feel a little nervous. Just I'm staying out of it. I'm with you, spread. I'm not betting either side of it. But I like the bold stand, Tyler. I like it. All right.
It could be. Here's the thing. It could end up being the easiest cash of Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, it could. Yeah, totally could.
Right. So,
yeah, I don't doubt that either.
I understand where he's going with it.
I totally understand where he's going with it.
I'm having a hard time just holding up my priors.
I'll say one thing: if I bet them this week and they look terrible and get ran off the field by Arizona, I probably don't try this again next week.
Especially 1 week before their bye. But I mean, God, like like you said, it has to get right quick. You don't have time in the AFC.
Even the players are saying it's a must-win game. Like I think you're going to get a very good effort out of them.
Yeah,
non-conference game where teams really don't see each other either.
Right.
They played San Fran just now. Arizona did, and they were able to put up some points. Like I just don't see it against the Cincy team coming in there.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying, and I get all the reasons you're saying. It is a must-win. In the AFC, you can't get too far behind. In the NFC, you have a little bit more padding, I think, than that. So, okay, well, now let's go to the totals. And you guys were 2-1 on totals last week. So let's run it back again this week. And spread, what's your favorite total this week?
Tonight.
Aha!
Under on the Commanders game. This is rough. Here, we got dueling trends. Chicago Bears have gone 12-3 over in the last 15
I did see that.
games.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders have gone 20-5 to the under in their last 25 home games.
Okay.
So we'll see which one of these trends give, and that's why sometimes on these trends you can just pick what you need in order to support whatever argument you've already come up with. You know, hey, we saw the Bears look pretty good against the Broncos last week.
It was against the Broncos.
Yeah, great job. Great job. Let's see what you guys do against this D-line. I think things are going to go a little better. And I'm not sure if I necessarily trust Sam Howell to put up huge numbers this week, Meg. It feels like it's going to be an old school game. We should see a lot of running. Brian Robinson Jr. is great spot here.
Love the spot for B-Rob.
Yeah, because I think I want to use his running more than the pass catching ability, but I like the under in tonight's game.
Okay, so you're going under in tonight's game. Tyler, do you agree with that? And then what's your favorite total of the week?
I do agree with that. I definitely like this game to go under. I think the only way it goes over is if you see Fields go bonkers with his legs, which we just haven't seen this year. I think just the way they're trying to run the offense doesn't let them do that anymore. And Howell just plays lights out and they just match each other. I don't see both those things happening. I think it is an under spot. And spread said old school football. Well, I'll give you an old school football total, Meg. Give me the under in the Saints Patriots.
Oh,
Who in the hell is scoring in this game? You got Dennis Allen on one side. You got Belichick on the other coaching these teams.
Yep.
Derek Carr hasn't cleared 20 points all year. Neither is Mac Jones. These offenses are terrible. I know New England had some injuries hit these their defense over this past week. I think Judon's now out. They lost the rookie who looked very good, Christian Gonzalez, for the rest of the year. Traded for J.C. Jackson. He'll be back to being elite now that he's in New England. I just don't see where points come from in this game. I think it's a very ugly, sloppy game.
And they both play so slow.
Yeah, give me the under 39. I just don't see it getting there.
I love it. I love that call. I'm totally with you on that one. We got 2 questions in the chat. Clyde says, anytime touchdown tonight. I have 3 up on the sheet right now. Check out the sheet on FanSpeak. That's a tease, but we're going to talk first touchdowns, which obviously that means those are touchdowns we like for tonight, Clyde. So stick with us. We're going to get there for sure. And then Tim asks, Robinson and Gibson the same lineup tonight. You could do that. I like Washington 5-1 tonight. I mean, again, massive like homer alert. You know, I will say Gibson is more used in those 2-minute drills, passing. If they're playing from behind, I don't see that. So I like Robinson much better tonight. But check out the Sibling Showdown show. That is up on the FanSpeak network. It was a quick 20-minute show. You can get through it quickly, breeze right through. We went through favorite captains, favorite values, favorite fades, build structures. Then we built kind of a quick shell. And then that's up on fanspeak.com. Again, all content is free. So, okay. So we covered the spreads. We covered the totals. Week 5 props. Tyler, I'm going to go to you first. I know not all are up. I struggle with that too. At this point of the week, we get, you know, especially more props really start coming available Friday, Saturday, and, you know, to us. So we have a full complement to look at. But so far, what is your favorite prop for week 5?
Why go away from it when it works, Meg? James Cook over 72.5.
I was going to say it has so been working. Yeah.
3 weeks in a row it's hit. Now he goes over to London to play Jacksonville, whose defense looks a little worse than everyone expected this year. Right. They're coming off the Atlanta game where they're playing Desmond Ridder, who absolutely stinks. So their defense, it looked a little better. They had the pick 6. I just think it lowered this number on James Cook a little bit for us. I think he runs through the defense. I think he can get to that 72.5 just on the ground. But we know Josh Allen's going to dump him off a couple passes. He probably breaks one of those for maybe 15, 20 yards. He broke one for 43 yards on Sunday against Miami. So definitely love that prop. He can get there either way, over 72.5 on James Cook rushing plus receiving yards.
I love that. We are right now, we've been heating up. Last week was a bumpy in the props market, but we've been doing well the last few weeks. We are about 46%. And obviously a lot of our props, I alt to plus money. And a lot of our touchdowns, are plus money touchdowns too. And we're, I think, in the 40+% range there too. And I just think we're going to keep getting better and better because I feel more and more locked in each and every week. So I love the James Cook call. I'm going to, and you're going to hear a theme with this probably when you hear me talk about week 5. Okay. So it feels so gross to say that I am all in on the Jets this week, but I'm all in on the Jets this week against this horrible, historically bad Broncos defense, you know, and I'm big into Narrative Street too. So on the broadcast Sunday night, Melissa Stark, obviously Aaron Rodgers told her he's hoping he comes back for playoffs. So I don't think a trade's happening. I think they're going to try to hold it down with Zach Wilson as long as they can. Zach Wilson looked functional and looked decent. And so, you know, I think if there's ever a get right spot for Zach Wilson, every offensive skill player for the Jets, it's against this Broncos team on Sunday. You also have the Narrative Street that Sean Payton talks shit against offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, pissed off Rodgers. Rodgers isn't there to pour it on, but I guarantee he's in Zach Wilson's ear and Hackett's ear. Hackett's going to pour it on if he can. I like points. I like yards. I like everything for the Jets on Sunday. So give me Garrett Wilson, who's obviously leading in targets, leading in air yards, leading in all that for the Jets, 58.5 over. I think you could alt that up to 80 to 100. I swear to God, I think he's going to just nuke this Broncos defense. What's your take on the Jets skill players, Tyler?
Yeah, love that call. Last guy, Sean Payton, tried to shit talk, dropped 70 on him. So
yeah, didn't go.
I don't know if the Jets can get to 70, but getting to 40 would be a very impressive thing for this offense. So
and
if the Zach Wilson that showed up on Sunday Night Football shows up the rest of the year, pencil him in for a wild card spot. He's good enough to get them to the wild card spot with the rest of those weapons and defense on that team.
That defense, right? I mean, that defense and those weapons, and now Breece Hall. I know we got to put context to everything. I know, we read the full quotes, but, kind of training wheels are off, like should get, more snaps. And then just Garrett Wilson, just keep feeding that man. He is an absolute beast and a talent. So, I'm all in on the Jets this weekend in every market. Did some underdog drafts in the props market and betting. DFS, this could be scary. spread? Are you scared for me, or you like the Jets this weekend?
I don't know what to make of that game.
I'm fully bought into the narrative.
So my question, why didn't you go for Breece Hall here? He got off the pitch count this week.
Yeah,
assuming they get the lead.
They don't have a lineup. They don't have a lineup no. His line was a little higher than I was comfortable.
Oh,
with.
so then it's already built in.
There's no edge. Yeah, I think it's close to 70 yards. It was like 68.5 or something like that. So I'd much rather go for Wilson at 58.5. Who knows? By the end of the week, we could have Breece Hall on the sheet. That's why, again, always free. Check back. We do.
I can't imagine that number going down though. If you didn't like the number where it was posted, it's not going down.
Yeah, maybe I get more like just all in on Jets. Who knows? No, I do just love the Jets offense this week, and I do love them to try to pour it on against this, again, historically bad. We'll talk about Justin Fields more later, but like, my God, they made him look like, Joe Montana. This is a historically bad Broncos defense, and I just really, really love the Jets offense this week. So it'll either be really good or really bad, because I'm kind of all in with it this week. So we'll see how that goes. So let's shift over to anytime touchdown spread. We usually lead with you first on this one. You nailed Stephon Diggs last week. What do you got for us this week in the anytime touchdown?
There's not as much up this week, Meg.
Yeah, I know mine isn't up either. Okay, so who do you like? We can just kind of say a name and then see.
Well, the two that I'm looking at, I'm probably. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could tell me if there's value or not. I mean, Derrick Henry's always gone off against the Colts.
Right.
Always gone off against the Colts. But he's minus 167.
Oh wow. Okay.
David Montgomery. I'll have to send you this, Meg. Did you see Austin Eckler talking about why David Montgomery's getting more snaps than Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah,
it was just an excellent breakdown of stuff that I am not.
Yes, about how the way he runs and his
he squares up, he falls forward,
his vision, the way he hits the hole. Yes, I saw that. Yeah, excellent interview. Yeah. He does
minus 200 against. I know you're down on the Broncos, but this Panthers defense is pretty bad too, right?
Right.
I like David Montgomery.
Very high.
I like Derrick Henry, and I guess you just combine them, because it's minus 167 and minus 200. Let me see what I'm going to get when I get both of those. But yeah, a lot of games aren't up yet, man.
No,
a lot of the ones that I wanted to target, like for example, the aforementioned Breece Hall.
I was going to say Breece Hall too,
because I thought he was going to be right around even money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go for too. So,
especially because I could see him getting a huge game, but having Dalvin Cook have those goal line carries.
God, Dalvin Cook looks so washed, though, doesn't he? I mean,
we knew that. Remember when I kept drafting Breece Hall and I said, I can't believe people are taking Dalvin Cook?
I wasn't too in on. I don't think I have many Dalvin Cook shares because I was just nervous. It wasn't in on that. And regret the shares I do have because he just does not look it. And I think Breece Hall is just going to get more and more and more ramped up here. We'll have to see. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of lines, but I think we all like the Breece Hall anytime touchdown. You like Henry and Montgomery, but you're saying you might.
I'm saying if you add them together right now, what's it going to give me? Come on. I don't know why my computer is on work today. Nothing's working for me. It's plus 140 if you add them together. So I'll do Henry plus Montgomery.
Henry plus Montgomery. I like that. Yeah. I like that. Okay, Tyler, what do you got for anytime touchdown? Again, I know a lot of lines are not available yet.
Yeah, I got two. One's going to be a touchdown / money line parlay because I think there's just got to be a way we can get on this Dolphins game. Mm-hmm. And getting Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown and them to win that game at minus 120, I think is a great way to get on that game. We've just seen the Giants get carved up. They play a ton of man coverage. They couldn't cover DK and these guys. What do you think Tyreek Hill is going to do to this defense this weekend? He's going to shred them. So I think he gets in the end zone minus 120 for him to score and they win the game. And another guy, I just think we have to get a touchdown score in this Minnesota-Kansas City game. I think it's going to be a track meet of a game. You're going to get a ton of points. Give me a shot on Rashee Rice plus 245 to catch a touchdown. The rookie receivers team like snaps and some of the other receivers. It's just a weird room of wide receivers where you don't know who's the one, who's the two. It's just a group of guys. He's slowly starting to emerge as the guy that's getting the snaps, and I think they want him to be that guy. I think he catches himself a touchdown here versus a terrible Minnesota secondary. And at plus 245, I'll take a shot on that. I'd shop that around, though. You might be able to get better odds on different books on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. In that game, I see a ton of points. And there's a couple guys. I mean, honestly, obviously all the guys like Kelsey, Jefferson, Pacheco, they're all, anywhere from minus 115 to minus 155. I don't know if I'd make this my official play, but I'm going to consider Jordan Addison goose egg, but I'm considering him in DFS, considering him in the props market. I got to see what percent of routes he's running because I just see a bounce back spot in a probably negative game script. Zach Wilson was able to throw on the Chiefs last week. I just think Kirk Cousins, they threw less than 20 times last week. They didn't have to because, like, to your point, spread, it was against the Panthers. They didn't have to throw at all. So I kind of like a bounce back there. My official play was going to be Breece Hall, but the odds aren't up for that yet. So again, all official plays will be up on the FanSpeak betting card. We'll have everything for Thursday night and what we have so far that's like locked in lines available after the show here. A lot's already up, honestly. And then it'll be a fully updated Saturday for the whole Sunday slate. And then, of course, we update it for Monday, too. So, yeah, I kind of like that combo of either Addison at nice plus odds in the Vikings game, but definitely going to be eyeing up what Breece Hall's odds are. Tim says hopefully he doesn't run out of breath. I think he's going to get all the way there. I think he's going to find the end zone this time. I really do, Tim. And, yeah, very, very, very bullish on this Jets team. Okay, so we covered spreads, we covered totals, we covered props, we covered anytime touchdowns. Are you guys ready to talk about my Washington Commanders?
No, we got a couple. I have a couple more. We have a couple more for this Sunday first.
Okay,
I got to talk to you guys first. How far can this line go before you bet the Giants? It opened at 9.5 and it's 12.5. And I know you guys are going to tell me they're terrible and this and that. And I know it's a great bounce back spot for Miami.
No,
I would not be surprised now if the Giants end up covering this thing. I'm not betting this, but I'm just saying. One of my friends told me they're going to put like 5 units on the Dolphins. I would try and talk them out of it. I mean, at a certain point, don't we buy into the deal that no team is ever as bad as they look?
I
do agree with that things aren't as ever really as bad or as good.
That bad.
I think they could be worse than they look.
You said you think they could be worse?
At what point? So if I said 14.5, you would still take the Dolphins?
Probably.
I mean, I just would avoid it. I would just avoid it, honestly.
At what point, what would I have to put up there for you to take the Giants? 17.5? I mean, it's 17.5?
There's just never a point I pull a trigger on the Giants.
I don't think I can pull.
You can 35 points, you would.
You could give me 35 points, and if I click that button and they lose that game by 38, I'm going to sit there and kick myself all night and say, why did I even put myself in that spot to bet this team?
Yeah, I just don't think I can put American dollars on hard-earned money on the New York Giants right now.
Okay, I'm not saying to bet the Giants. I'm bringing this up for everyone watching. If your friends want to put 1 unit on the Dolphins, but don't let them put 5 units on it. This is sneaky, man.
You take those 5 units, you put them on Tyreek Hill to score it, and they win the game. And you get better odds. The dude houses like 3 touchdowns and has 100 yards at the end of the day, and you're happy. It's the same way we bet CMC to score, and they beat Arizona last week. Dude scored 4 touchdowns. It was like the touchdown was in the bag in the first 3 minutes of the game. Now it's just win the game, and we're a 14-point.
Now you're just waiting for the rest of the 50-minute clock to roll out so that you can collect your winnings. Yeah, exactly.
All right, hold on. I got more stuff for you guys.
Okay, give us more.
Tyler, why did the Titans line move 2.5 points?
Because they finally realized that the wrong side was favored in that game.
It's just a market move. There's no injury news that I'm missing.
I haven't seen any injury news really that popped in that one.
Have you, Meg?
No.
All I saw was Jonathan Taylor coming back, and all of a sudden now,
unless that factor in the line is that much, but I don't think it would have.
Why would that be a negative though? He's a running back. It's not like he's really going to mess anything up.
No, I'm saying
there's no way he could be a negative.
Him like originally being in might have gave us the line that we got, and then as the week progressed, and it's like, he's probably not playing. The number jumped.
Oh, he's not going to play now.
I don't think he's going to play. If he plays, he's not going to get
I'd be shocked if he got much of a workload. Yeah,
he's going to get like 8 carries, and they'll be like, all right, that's that. It's going to be one of those games where it's like you see this other 31 teams. He's healthy. Now give us our first round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler, I'm getting some of those Seahawks vibes here as this moves 2.5 points there, right? And we're sitting here on this nice ticket, and I'm starting to wonder why the market.
It's another one spread. I still like it at the extended number. Pass funnel defense that stuffs all the runs. It's going to slow down Richardson and Moss. It's going to force him to throw the ball down the field. It's just not a recipe to win the game for them.
And they've never done well against Derrick Henry. Okay, now we see that. Tyler, your Steelers let us down last week. But let's look at these hashtag Tomlin trends. 17-5 against the spread as a home dog. Talk to me, Tyler.
Sometimes the dog's got to die spread. And the dog's name is Matt Canada.
The dog's name is Matt Canada. God, is he awful. What I mean, is literally all Pittsburgh media just like about fire this man, right?
It's so bad.
Are you guys ruthless out there like New York and Philly?
It's so bad. If you go watch College Game Day, you'll see fire Matt Canada signs held up on College Game Day.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, until he's out of their spread, I think those trends mean nothing. I mean, you could tell me Mike Tomlin's 80-0 against the spread in this matchup, and then I'm going to watch the offense go out there and run the same 3 plays all game.
Yeah, what does he have on Tomlin? I mean, why does that man still have a job? I don't get it. Again,
the man realized that the Steelers just don't fire people, and he's like, I could do whatever I want now.
It's unbelievable. Like the end of Ben's career, because that was his first year, the last Ben year, right? And then the first Pickett year, okay, Pickett's a rookie, but it's like, I don't know. You gave him the start of the season, and it's worse than we all could have imagined. You know, like we all were concerned about him. That was like the one concern. And it's like, is he not scheming like it upright for the offensive line? Because I thought the offensive line was going to be so much more improved this year with the additions. I don't know. It's just mind-blowingly bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is another public service announcement for me. The NFL doesn't make sense all the time. And it would not make sense for the Steelers to cover here. So they probably will. Let your friend put a unit on the Ravens. That's fine.
Are you betting?
Don't go crazy.
Are you betting a one-legged Kenny Pickett that's going to try and force his way onto the field?
No, I'm hoping Trubisky plays.
Kenny's trying to play. I heard that. Yeah.
Kenny's trying to force himself to play. And I know you want Mitch on the field, but
first of all, I'm not betting this game. I'm giving public service announcements on stay away from these. They look like layups.
I got you.
Right? I got my NBA shirt on, right?
Nice.
Think you got this layup going? It's not a layup. That's my point.
I'm just saying, though, last time Mitch had to come in for Kenny was in this matchup last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
4 picks later, and the game was over. So,
pick Trubisky. All right. Meg. From what you're saying here, we didn't have the Jets plus 117 money line on the treasure map. You believe, though, that we should have it. Is this true?
What, the Jets money line?
You think they're going to roll over them, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, I know that was on the treasure map. That's a Megan special. I'm not going to mess with your guys' records.
I'm kind of with you, though.
Yeah. You
have one team that's competent and one team that's not.
Yes. And again, this Broncos defense is just so, like, I understand Zach Wilson.
I don't understand how it got so good to so bad so fast. I mean, I understand Fangio. First of all, Bradley Chubb's not even doing that good in Miami. So it's not like they traded away Nick Bosa.
Right. For sure.
I guess Von Miller.
I think the loss of, what was the defensive coordinator? He went to Carolina, though.
Fangio.
And they're not
No,
the one they lost. The one that the coordinator they had last year was. It was Fangio? No.
It wasn't Fangio last year, was it?
No, it was.
Got fired the year before. It was Raheem Morris. I don't know. No,
it was the guy that I thought it was the guy that took over for Hackett. Anyways, I thought it was the guy that took over for Hackett, and then he, when Sean Payton's regime came in, went to Carolina. I thought I could.
You're right. You're probably right. Yeah.
Okay, I think that maybe that's a bigger loss than sometimes it is just. The coordinator that Tim and Chat said Flores. It was Flores with. I don't know. I'd have to.
Flores was with Pittsburgh.
Flores was with Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm attributing maybe the loss of the defensive coordinator last year, which was working, was a bigger loss than we all realized. But this is
all right. Well, we got to think about this, Tyler, about adding this Jets play, huh?
Yeah, it's a Meg special on the money line. I think it's plus 115 or something along those lines. So I'm going with the dog on the road. Again, the narrative street. I remember interviews with Aaron Rodgers this summer being like, I have week 5 circled. Like, I mean, he wanted to just I would have literally done all Rodgers, Garrett Wilson stacks had he been healthy. So I'm going to do Zach Wilson, Garrett Wilson stacks, and I'm going to bet the Jets. I just still think now that I see how bad this defense is. And then again, on the other side, it's not like, Russell Wilson is putting up better fantasy points, but it's not like he's scaring us from like I don't know, just piling on like a super incredible offense, and he's playing the Jets defense. So to counter that, the Jets defense could totally take over. Maybe my offensive props won't get there, and there's just the Jets defense dominates. But I think Hackett and the offensive side is going to want to put it on him too. Oh, Steve said it in chat. It was I couldn't pronounce his name.
Aviro. I'm guessing. Yeah. I've never heard it being spoken out loud. Okay, that's good knowledge, Steve.
Thanks for jumping in. That was the Broncos. Steve, I think he's with Carolina.
All right, 2 more questions. Then we'll get on to tonight, Meg.
Yes, you got it.
But we got to talk about these games.
Let's talk about it.
Tyler, when we looked, this line opened Chiefs -6. Now it's down to Vikings +3.5. Why is there so much market love for the Vikings?
I don't know, but remember when I said this was the game that it just screamed trap to me when we looked at the board all week?
Yeah. And remember, I had the Chiefs by 9.
Yeah, it's like this is the game everyone rolls up to, like last year when the Chiefs played the Colts. Everyone looked at that game on the board. They were -4. It was like, they're going to smack the Colts. There's no way to say in this game. At the end of the game, the Colts won the game outright, and everyone was like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
I think there's a very good possibility you watch Minnesota roll onto the field. I know their defense looks terrible, but their offense is going to be able to hang with Mahomes and these guys. It could just be a shootout where they're the last team to score. And it's like, wow, they just beat the Chiefs. So I think it's a spot where you could see an upset happen. But
we're going to be talking, Tyler, because I'm going to be pounding this table to add the Chiefs here.
I feel
even if we don't play the -3.5, you got to let me play their team total. They're going to go off.
I mean, I don't hate the team total.
Right.
So you like the Chiefs team total, I assume. Yeah. Against this Vikings defense, I'm fully with that.
All right, Meg, I already know Tyler's ideas because we talked about it. Let me talk to you about the Sunday night showdown. The 49ers play the Cowboys. Now, when I originally looked at the line Sunday night or Monday morning or whenever it was, I thought, the 49ers are going to be my biggest bet of the week.
Okay.
The more I've looked into it, I don't know if that's the right place. Dallas is 4-1 in their last 5 in San Francisco, and I know this goes back a long time. Like, we're probably going back to Jeff Garcia days here. But what do you expect of this matchup? I ended up not betting it. I didn't bet the Chiefs and the Jets last Sunday, and I was happy. I enjoyed the game, and when Mahomes slid, I just whatever. I wasn't throwing stuff around or jumping around. What do you think of the Cowboys and the Niners, Meg?
Yeah, that's a good question. I probably still am going to side with the Niners on this one. If you made me pick a side, again, I probably would just stay away from that line. But I would probably side with the Niners in San Francisco. I mean, McCaffrey just looks out of his mind. But, this is just so interesting with like 2 insanely good defenses, 2 of the top, defenses. I'd put the Browns in there too in the NFL right now. And I don't know. It's really going to be a fun one to watch, especially the coaching battles too, and I think it's just going to have a lot of fun layers to watch. So, but I think if you made me pick a side, I would take San Francisco. Am I going to take a side? No, I don't.
Okay, and that's where I'm at now too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the pools where you pick every game, I'll take the Niners, but I don't love this bet as much as I used to, and in fact, I'm pretty fine staying on the sideline. And I've actually heard good arguments for both sides on the total. The Niners and the Cowboys obviously have the 2 best
defense,
and not first of all, not obviously, and not the 2 best, but they do have top 5 defenses statistically so far this season.
Yeah,
quality competition isn't that good though, right? I mean, they both beat the Cardinals, or they both played the Cardinals.
Jets.
Jets,
Dallas played Jets.
Patriots, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Patriots.
Wow, I shut down Mac Jones. Like, great job. Let's send you to the Hall of Fame. I mean,
Right.
But I'm really torn on this game. I think it's a fun conversation piece, and that's why I had to get your opinion. Tyler, obviously, I talked to you, so I knew, but let the people know because they're not privy to our private conversations. Who do you like, the Cowboys or the Niners?
It was a wait and approach game for me on that one. I just wanted to see which way the line went. I think you can get
it's
a lot
the exact same since we talked on Tuesday.
I could just same. You can wait up until like 20 minutes before kickoff. I still think you're going to get Dallas money to pour in at some point on this game, and you might get a flat 3 over the 3.5.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I would just wait.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I asked Tyler if I like the Niners, should I bet it at 123? He said, I think the Cowboys are going to take money. It went to minus 128, and this is on Tuesday. And now it's still minus 128. So they are taking, bookmakers taking even money, and they don't want to give people that 3.5, which is interesting to me because +3 is all the way up to plus 112, which indicates to me that at least on these offshores, there's an appetite here for the Cowboys. So.
Yeah, I think Tyler makes a good point about it. It's going to be a fun game to watch because of just like the defensive battle. But like you said, both teams also have offensive weapons. Kyle Shanahan, how is he going to chess match this? Like, I think there's just going to be a lot of interesting intricacies and layers to watch in this game. But I wouldn't feel comfortable betting the side or the total. And then, like, I know you've approached some things, Tyler, from like performance doubles, but my God, what is McCaffrey like minus like 300 for a touchdown? It's not like that.
He's got to be getting up there. There's nothing listed yet with that being.
Yeah. It's not like that's going to help push the line anymore, really, if you did McCaffrey touchdown and win, because his odds are ridiculous. I mean, now his odds for 2 touchdowns are ridiculous, which makes sense. I mean, it absolutely makes sense. So he's just
Tyler. Also, I'm sorry, one more question though. Why did the Raiders take money? They were like 2.5 when we talked earlier. They didn't have -1.
Do you think that's just a move because maybe Jimmy G's back practicing, or is he even back practicing, or is he still in concussion protocol?
I'm thinking it's gonna be AOC again.
Oh, I thought.
I figured he'd be back by now, so that's why I figured the numbers were moving.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, well that makes sense why he moves. All right, let's talk about tonight, Meg. How excited are you?
I'm so excited because Washington doesn't get. I think once the ownership is more, a year or two in, we'll get more, primetime games and stuff like that. But Dan Snyder, you only ever got like one primetime game. So we got this primetime game and then Thanksgiving against the Cowboys. So this one, hopefully we can beat up on Chicago at home, really enjoy it as fans. And so I'm super, super excited for this game. I mean, listen, we talked about last week on the show, Broncos and Bears. We said it was 2 bad defenses, and sure enough, they both put up points because it was 2 bad defenses. So this Bears defense, talk about this, how this Broncos defense is historically bad. This Chicago defense is really bad. They are like down at the bottom of every statistical defensive category as well, and passing statistical defensive passing categories, and they're depleted in their secondary, absolutely depleted. So like, I think this is, Sam Howell's really been spreading out to running backs, tight ends, receivers. I think they could really get it going with Dotson and McLaurin, Samuel and that stuff too. But I mean, really get the receiving core going. So I love the Washington receiver props. I love the Washington spread. I love Washington anytime touchdowns. You name it, I love it. I'm building 5-1 Washington showdowns. I mean, the homer. Yeah, Tim says left hand up for the old Commanders song. Hopefully Tim will get a new song next year when we get hopefully a new name. That's my hope. But yeah, I'm so bullish on it. So I got to give it back to you guys before we get into like our first touchdowns and our building our same game parlay. You're getting the massive Washington homer take from me and enjoying, hopefully being able to like enjoy a primetime win, which doesn't happen often for Washington fans. What am I just pure delusion, or what do you think, Spread and Tyler? I'll go to you first, Spread.
I mean, through the last 4 seasons, road underdogs are 34-20 against the spread, catching these points.
Okay.
And I think that when Thursday Night Football just started, taking the home team was so easy, and I think they've adjusted. I don't think they're giving us those 2s and those 3s anymore.
Yeah, right.
Where they might have here on the Sunday. So these road teams are catching more points. And the markets also like the Bears too. I don't know why. I don't see what you saw on Sunday to get you excited. I saw another team lit down again. I know they did fine in the first half against one of the worst defenses in the league.
Right.
Commanders probably haven't met defensive expectations for us, as we thought they could be a top 5 defense. This is still much better than what they've seen.
But they also just went up against the
Eagles.
Right. They also I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but they also just went up against the Eagles and Bills. So that's not going to help the look of the last 2 games.
Yeah, we talked about that statistically, right? I mean, of course the Cowboys look better after taking on the Jets and the Patriots.
Yeah. Commanders aren't going to look so good after just going up against Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. But now we go up against
so what we did is I already bet the under. And the other one we like is just throw them in a teaser. Let's not worry about these point spreads here. Definitely an opportunity there for a backdoor cover, because the way things are going in Chicago, anything positive they can get going, they will. So I can see them, getting a nice little backdoor cover here. So we did them in a teaser, and who did we add them with? We added them to the Texans, who we moved from +2 to +8. So I know this Commanders isn't the typical Wong where we go through 7 and 3. They're down to -1/2. So I just need them to win the game.
Right.
There, and that's the way I approached it.
Okay. Tyler, what do you think about my delusional, crazy Washington thoughts, and how do you see the game going tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think they win the game, Meg. I'm just like when I look at the game more, it just worries me a little bit. Like everything, I just keep running it back through my head. It's like, yeah, they played the Eagles well last week, and the Bears they played a good first half, like spread said, blew the game in the end. But I just keep going back to week 1. It's like Washington playing Arizona, should smash this team. Howell makes some young quarterback mistakes, and it's like, this game is getting a little too close than I expected.
Yeah.
Fields could still move the ball with his legs. They complete a couple passes downfield. They get a touchdown off a big play or something. And this game just becomes a lot more dicier than expected. It's a weird game. I probably don't take a side.
Right.
Lean Washington winning the game. Would put him in a teaser. But it's probably just anytime touchdowns and props for me here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I'm going to have to take one of our guys on Washington's side, Meg. Give me Denami Brown, the 3rd string receiver. Ooh. Sam Howell's college buddy. Everyone's going to want to go to Scary Terry and Dotson. Give me the big plus money on Denami Brown tonight. We see weird touchdowns in these Thursday games every week.
Oh, you totally do. And let me tell you.
Spell that name.
This is his guy from UNC. Brown left the year before him. This was one of the many guys that left. And then Sam Howell, then plummeted in the draft stock after a lot of guys left. So I mean, I love that call.
DYAMI for those.
Okay, so this is your first touchdown call, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
no. Anytime touchdown call.
Okay.
I got +800. What do you got?
11-1.
Great. Good number.
Okay. So this is your anytime touchdown call. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I mean, that is those odds I love, and we will totally put that on the sheet. And Clyde wanted a anytime touchdown. Tyler brought the heat on that one because we have a couple up on the sheet already from Steve and I. And from the Washington side, we have Brian Robinson, Jahan Dotson. Obviously, Brian Robinson gained all of the goal line carries. Jahan Dotson has the most red zone targets. But yeah, this is Sam Howell's guy. I like that. That's a fun call. So now let's go to the first touchdown prop market. We always have a little fun with this. We each pick one. We root it on. See if we can bring it home. So spread, I'll go to you first on this one. Who do you got for first touchdown tonight?
You spoiled it, man. Who's got the most red zone targets on the team? Give me Jahan Dotson. We were high on him in best ball. He hasn't come through, but I feel like he's starting to get there. We saw this with Pickett too. Sometimes these preseason breakouts take a little bit of time when they go against the quicker defenses that are actually schemed towards them. I believe both Howell and Pickett will start to look better as the season progresses, but I do like Dotson here at +1,000 to score the first touchdown.
Absolutely. I like that. I already had that. I had that locked in, but I didn't say ladies first. So you took it, and that's totally fine.
I'm going to steal all your stuff. I wanted that Breece Hall too. And we didn't even talk. We haven't even talked.
I just love last week where I was like, ladies first, I'm taking LaPorta. No, but I didn't call ladies first.
No, we're locked in here.
You got Jahan, and I love it. Then I'll take Steve's because Steve had Brian Robinson. I mean, you're not getting any crazy odds on that, but listen, I do think like you said about the Amon-Ra thing a couple of weeks ago, sometimes just the guy that is supposed to be the guy is the guy that scores the first touchdown. And yeah, you're only getting a little less than plus 400, but I like Brian Robinson. I like Washington to score first. And so Brian Robinson, Jahan Dotson were my two targets. I think Logan Thomas is another anytime touchdown you could attack, just like a big red zone threat. So McLaurin's always in play too. But yeah, we kind of covered all the Washington then with Diami Brown. So I like it. And again, we will have these all up on the sheet. The first touchdowns, anytime touchdowns, the props for tonight. I already got props up tonight. I'll have a prop video up here shortly of my favorite prop. You could probably tell I keep saying his name over and over. Guy who went to Penn State, good old Jahan Dotson. So yeah, you'll see all the props, anytime touchdowns, first touchdowns, everything we like for tonight up on this sheet. Just go to fanspeak.com, absolutely free NFL betting card. So now let's build a same game parlay because that's always a fun
I don't get to give my first touchdown, Meg.
Oh, that's right. I there I'm thinking Diami Brown, and that was your anytime. Diami Brown was your anytime.
I know 11-1 threw it off too.
11-1 threw me off. I'm so sorry. Of course, yeah. So okay, so I'll go Brian Robinson. Spread goes Jahan Dotson, who I'm just fully in on tonight. What is your first touchdown, Tyler? I'm so sorry, and I'll make sure I have these up all on the sheet for everyone.
I'm going to try and cover us a little bit. I'm just going to take a guy from the other side just because we got two on the Commanders here. And it's football. You can see the Bears score first and then the Commanders score every point from the game on out.
Yeah.
Fields only has one rushing touchdown on the year. I think it's a spot where you can run one in. Plus 950 to score the first touchdown here. I'll take a shot on that.
I like that. No, I'm just messing with you, Tyler. I like that. That makes a ton of sense. All right. Well, then that covers the first touchdown. So now let's build a same game parlay for tonight. And I'm not going to call ladies first. So I'm going to say, we'll go to you guys. I'll go to you first, Tyler. What's your first leg of the spread that you, or first leg that you want to put in on this show same game parlay?
Antonio Gibson under 17.5 rushing yards.
Oh,
I don't see him getting many rushing attempts. He keeps fumbling the ball, and I just think Rivera's going to go away from him, and he's going to get a bunch of Brian Robinson here.
It's a lot of Brian Robinson. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I've got under Antonio Gibson. Spread, I'm going to you next. What is your second leg of the show prop?
Well, Tyler didn't want it on the treasure map, but we'll put it here on the same game parlay. Give me the under tonight. I love my prime time unders, and we're going to keep going to that well.
Okay, so under, what did you get it at?
I got it at 44.5. And it's
okay, that's what I got. Okay. Oh, on FanDuel, I see it's at 44.5 as I'm building it just here on FanDuel Sportsbook. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get much. If I did, I was going to do Brian Robinson, but I don't know that because they kind of correlate so much that you're going to get a lot of juice there. Actually, you do get a little more than I think. I'm debating between Brian Robinson and Jahan Dotson. Those are my two favorite props of the night. But like you said, Tyler, I think Brian Robinson is going to run all over them, milk this clock at the end. So I'm going to alt it. I'm going to do Brian Robinson. If Antonio's got to getting any of it, it's going to be Brian Robinson. I think he's going to get a ton of carries, a ton of work, run all over this Bears defense. You can pass all over him, but you can run all over him too. I just put in all 70 plus yards for Brian Robinson. That takes us up to plus 602 for our show same game parlay. And I will have this up on the sheet. Yeah, I like this. Apparently Kirk Cousins was at the Twins game, I guess yesterday. So hopefully he's ready, I guess, at home against the Chiefs to put up some points for us on Sunday. So final thoughts, boys, before we get out of here, besides just rooting on my Washington, hard to say Commanders, but rooting on Washington Commanders tonight. Final thoughts for week 5 spread.
I am excited. We have less on the card this week, and I'm fine. I get a little worried when we have 6 or 7 plays because we know these sportsbooks put up sharp numbers.
Yeah.
But I really like the plays that we landed on. I'm happy that we posted it out right away.
Yep.
For those to get the better number on the Titans, we still like it. But boy, minus 103 to minus 143 on that money line feels good to be on the right side of that one. Really excited about that. Like I said, I'm happy to just be a fan next Sunday night for the game of the week.
Yeah.
The Niners and the Cowboys. And maybe I'll get a little more out of it if I'm not sweating it. And who knows? Maybe maybe the Cowboys will take some money. If it gets down to -2.5, I'll have to take it. I don't know if I see that coming. And, I'm really excited to see the two teams, right, that everybody's completely counting out here. Let's see how they look. I think the Giants and the Steelers, they could surprise some people. So there we go.
Interesting. Yeah, we had the debates about it, but that spreads.
I'm not putting my money on it, though. I'm just saying it could happen.
You're saying it could happen, but you're not putting your hard-earned money on it. Okay, I like it. Okay, Tyler, final thoughts for week 5.
Yeah, love our bets that we placed here. It is a weird week, so don't get too overexposed on it. I think there's going to be a bunch of weird spots. And one last fun play for this Thursday night game. This could blow up in our faces just because Claypool's nowhere to be found anymore, so this dude's definitely a bona fide number 2 wide receiver in Chicago. But Darnell Mooney's deep ball or bust pretty much.
Yeah.
You could do one of those weird parlays where you take his touchdown, you take his 50-plus alt yards, and you take his under 2.5 receptions. Pray to God the dude catches 2 balls. One's the deep touchdown, he houses it, and he ends with 2 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. When you do that uncorrelated FanDuel parlay, it takes it up to 53-1. So I'll sprinkle on that and take a shot on that.
There you go, Tyler.
I love it. I love the uncorrelated bets, Tyler. I know you're big on that. I'm big on that too, especially in football. What did I try it on? I came close last Thursday. I did Goff under, and I did 3 of his receivers over, and I got Josh Reynolds, and Josh Reynolds kind of hogged it all because no, I think I got Laporta. Maybe I altered Laporta too high or something. But yeah, I came very close because I had Laporta, I had Josh Reynolds, but I didn't get Amon-Ra or something like that. And I was like, I was just yards away, and you just the uncorrelated of the under, but the over receivers, that kind of stuff is just, you get absolutely wild odds on those uncorrelated. But I love that uncorrelated Darnell Mooney for tonight. Those are just like fun little bets to sprinkle on, to just have a lot of fun with. Well, my final thoughts for week 5 is that for better or worse, I'm going all in on Jets in kind of every category this week. So it'll either be really good or really bad. You'll know if the Jets lose by a lot, barely score, then I'll be having a rough week. If the Jets, win handedly, then I'm probably having a good week. So that's my final thoughts for week 5. But it's always fun joining you guys again. Hit the like button on the way out, subscribe to Fanspeak Network, and check out all the free content on fanspeak.com. Check out the NFL betting card and the NFL treasure map, all free to get free bets tonight, Sunday, Monday, and be sure to join us again next Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.